Hey, what's going on? What's up, y'all? It's your girl Medusa Maybe back with another episode of the I Got Nothing podcast where we talk a little bit about a lot of shit. Sorry for the hiatus. I've been gone a little bit, had some health things going on, and then went on vacation to celebrate my daughter's 21st birthday. And then, I was trying to figure out what do I want to talk about. I recently got into a Facebook conversation with a girlfriend of mine where we were talking about the differences between buying digital games versus the actual physical disc, and why aren't game downloads cheaper than the physical. And I actually was arguing for that, and I was going to talk about that today when I woke up this morning, or maybe it was yesterday morning, can't remember. And I actually saw an article pop up in my news feed that said Bungie was facing additional criticism in terms of all the microtransactions that occur in Destiny. And a streamer named Aztec Cross did a video, I think about a little bit ago, that has honestly kind of picked up some heat. He did it like a couple months ago or whatever, but it's resurfacing again because I swear, although I can't find it now for some reason, which is why I have this old headline behind me, but I swear I saw an article that talked about how the president of Bungie was addressing these concerns and what players are going to get, I guess, with the next release. So I want to talk about microtransactions. Microtransactions are not new. We've been experiencing them for a while now, whether it's getting a new weapon pack or getting some, outfits for your character, whatever game it is. Not now. Now, let me preface this by saying not all games have microtransactions, right? It's only certain games, especially multiplayer games. But there's a lot of game out there and a lot of game developers that do not do microtransactions. So let's make that clear. This is literally about Bungie and what's been going on with Destiny. Anybody who's been playing Destiny for a while, myself included, I've been playing Destiny since the first game was out, since our ghost was had a different voice. If anybody's been playing that long, our ghost changed voices between Destiny, somewhere in Destiny 1 and when we got Destiny 2. And also before our character could talk, right? Because for a long time, our guardian wasn't saying shit. Then I remember, I forget when it was. It was definitely a little bit more before Forsaken. But I remember my guardian saying a couple words, and I was like, am I talking? Oh, shit. Okay, that's a whole nother rant. Why does our characters not speak in a lot of these video games? I have no idea, but I'm kind of tired of everybody talking for me and to me and around me, but I'm not talking. That's a whole nother rant for another day. Anyway, I've been playing Destiny for a very long time. I love Destiny. You know what I'm saying? It's literally one of those games that I keep coming back to no matter what else I play. But let's be honest. These microtransactions are ridiculous. Now, again, mind you, this article is from June. Okay, it is a June article, but we're going to talk about it today because it's old news, but it's not old news at the same time. It's very relevant. Bungie has gotten ridiculous with the microtransactions. Okay, not only do the expansions cost, by the time you buy all the expansions cost as much as if Bungie would just fucking make Destiny 3 and get it over with, okay? Which we think is coming after this most recent light versus dark storyline they got going on that has been going on for like the past 5 years or whatever. But it's just gotten out of control. The expansions are anywhere, I swear they're anywhere from like $35, $40 to like $50, $50, $60. The Witch Queen was very expensive. Like I would have to look it up. I'm about to look it up really quick for y'all while I'm talking. I'm about to Google this because Witch Queen expansion. Okay, so right now the Witch Queen expansion is $30 on Xbox. I'm an Xbox player. However, when the Witch Queen expansion came out, I swear to God, I spent like $40, $50. So this is a sale, I believe, that's happening right now because the Witch Queen expansion was not $30 when it came out. That hoe was That hole was more expensive than that. But let's talk about that. Like the expansions are anywhere from 30 to 50 to to 40 to $50 a piece. Okay. And then at one point in time, you had DLCs which were separate from expansions. So there was some things that you got, some things that you didn't. So you had to get them both. And then you buy the season pass, right? Because the season pass is meant to give you any upcoming expansions for that game in that season. You buy the expansion pass, another $50, $60, $70, whatever. And then you're supposed to get all the expansions, all the DLCs in that season pass, right? But then Bungie switched it up where all of a sudden you were getting the DLCs, but you weren't getting the expansions. So then it was like, what's the fuck is the point of paying for the season pass if it's not going to give me all the stuff, right? So then you have that change. Let's talk about Eververse. Eververse, in all honesty, serves no purpose with the exception of buying different armor sets, getting different weapons, getting different bikes, you know what I'm saying? Getting different ornaments, getting emotes for you to do little dances that everybody likes to do or whatever. But other than that, the Eververse store has no purpose, okay? It is not integral to the game. But if you want some cool looking shit, Test is where you go at the Eververse. However, you have to use silver to buy all the good shit because the bright dust that you can sometimes collect when you're doing a mission or when you break down certain weapons and certain armor sets, the bright dust you collect, you can get some stuff with the bright dust, but not really the good shit, not any of the shit that matters. The only way to get it is silver. And how do you get silver? Money. You can't grind in the game to get silver, which I think is whack, by the way, because there's a whole lot of shit you got to do in Destiny. Why can't you grind and get silver? But whatever. You have to buy silver with your real money to be able to get silver to use it in a game. Okay. So that's another microtransaction. Okay. And then all of a sudden, with this last expansion in particular, I think it was with Witch Queen, and I think it extends over to the Lightfall expansion. The dungeons used to come with the expansion. Okay, so Forsaken and Shadowkeep and all that, the dungeons that was associated with those expansions used to come with the expansion. And those are levels, extra levels. Some of them are kind of hard that you can do that you and your team can grind and play, and you get like a lot of really cool rewards and stuff at the end of the dungeon. Well, with Witch Queen, if I'm not mistaken, the dungeon keys are now sold separately. So now, and the keys are associated with the expansion, right? So you're not getting dungeon keys for Forsaken. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting dungeon keys for Beyond Light. You're getting Witch Queen dungeon keys, but you got to buy them separately. And it's the same thing with Lightfall. Actually, I don't remember if Lightfall has a dungeon, so let me back that up. The last time I played a couple of days ago, the last dungeon I saw was associated with the Witch Queen. So if Lightfall has it, to those of you who know that, my bad, I haven't seen that yet. I've seen the Witch Queen. However, in order to get the dungeon keys, you got to buy them separately. And I'm like, and that's another microtransaction. Okay, what am I on the fifth finger? I don't even know. Then you got season passes. Again, the season pass used to be associated with the DLC or the expansion. Now the season pass is a totally separate story, but it's kind of tied in a little bit. Okay, so like the Season of the Deep is happening right now, and it's a story that kind of predates or is a precursor to the arrival of the darkness, right? So it can't, I forget if it was associated with Lightfall, if it came out with the Witch Queen, I don't really remember. However, Season of the Deep is a separate season. Season passes are now separate from the expansion. So if you want to do Season of the Deep, you got to buy it because it doesn't come with Lightfall or Witch Queen or whatever. That's another microtransaction. Like, so there's some missions, right, on Destiny that you have to have the season pass to be able to do. And you like, well, okay. And so you go to try to do it. Now you got to buy it. So we're talking what, another $20, $30 for the season pass? And it's like, what? Why are we doing this? That also does not include, now, thank goodness you don't have to like unlock another character or, or something like that, because a lot of the most notable characters in Destiny are NPCs, right? They're non-playable characters, is Zavala and Osiris and, and Eris Morn and all of that and so on and so forth. So they're all NPCs. So at least you don't have to worry about that. Looking at you, EA, because EA, when they had, what was it, Battleground, I believe, and they tried to pull that stunt where you can unlock certain characters by buying them, that shit flew down in flames. But here we are with Bungie and Destiny, and it's gotten out of control. I do agree. Well, to answer this question, I do believe that Destiny has become microtransaction hell. It is ridiculous. And I also read somewhere that you can pay to complete the Lightfall campaign and upgrade your Guardian without having to do the fucking story. So what's the point? Like, you can actually pay to bump your Guardian up, I guess, to the highest light level that it will allow without, I guess, progressing too far forward. You can literally get the strand powers, which is another power you get in Lightfall. So spoiler alert, if you haven't played it yet. But you can actually fast forward through all of that and get the shit without really going through the campaign and then just grind through the rest of the game. Why does that option even exist? Why is that something that's even allowed to happen? If people want to speed play through a game, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? That's on them. If you wanted, to me, that takes all the fun out of a game when you too busy trying to do this and do that and whatever. It takes the fun and really, really getting yourself into a game. But paying to finish the game without really even going through everything to level up, learning about the story, blah, 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 like just fast forwarding through all that shit and getting to the main event, which is the power, then what's the point of you even what's the point of you even owning Destiny if you're going to do that? But why Bungie even has that as an option, if it is true, is whack as shit to me. So I truly do believe that Destiny, wait, and then the coup de grace, okay, what are we on, 7, 8, whatever. The icing on the cake, legit, I think like a couple weeks ago, I don't know if it's happening yet because I haven't played it yet. I've been playing another game, but legit like a couple weeks ago, whenever I started up Destiny, right, I legit got a pop-up from Bungie where they were collecting donations, charitable donations to give to whatever charity they was doing. And you had to donate money to that. And I'm sitting up here like, how about you take all of this microtransaction bullshit that you got everybody paying an arm and a leg for, okay? How about you take some of that and you donate some of the money to this charity? How you gonna ask me to donate money to a charity through a video game, okay, mind you, which is something I have not seen? You're gonna pop up and ask me to donate, but you already asking for an arm and a leg for me even to play the meat and potatoes of this fucking game. Like, what? If you don't take that fucking request on to get this shit out of my face, you know what I'm saying? Get it out of here. Get it out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but it's just microtransaction after microtransaction after microtransaction. Like, it is horrible. So Aztec Cross is a streamer. I've never personally watched any of their streams myself, but they like brought it up with all this stuff that's going on. And it got a whole lot of attention to the point where even Forbes, okay, wrote an article about it. Okay. And that's what this is. Forbes even wrote an article about it. Like, it was everywhere a couple of months ago. And like I said, the only reason I'm talking about it now is because I swear that I woke up and saw an article that was written, that was it was based on Bungie's president responding to these, all of this outrage. As somebody that plays video games, I know costs come in. I don't fucking go to Test. Test don't ever get my money because I refuse to pay for some shit that I should be able to grind this game. I have put several years of invested of time, grinding, headaches, screams, playing with teams, doing shit. I done did Nightfall raids and all that. I think the only raid I haven't done is a King's Fall raid. I think that's the only thing I haven't done yet. but I've done nightfall raids, and I've done regular raids, and I've done I've been in the Vanguard and done Vanguard raids back to back to back. But I've been playing Destiny for several years. I am tired of Bungie always trying to get my money in some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Or the cool shit, the power, the cool, powerful weapons, the ornaments, whatever. All of that shit should be grindable. I should be able to play the game and get it. Now, that does not mean that everything should be available. If you want to hold some shit off in the test Eververse, a couple ornaments, a cool dance, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, I don't care. You do whatever it is you do. But a lot of this shit, I shouldn't have to buy dungeon keys that are associated with an expansion that I done paid for. Them dungeon keys need to be with the expansion. I shouldn't have to buy seasons to access certain seasons, whatever season the game is in. I shouldn't have to buy the season separately to be able to play that season. It should be a part of the fucking expansion. Okay? Because these expansions are additional stories built onto the game. So if I buy the Witch Queen, whatever season is associated with the Witch Queen, whatever dungeon is associated with the Witch Queen, that should be associated. Same thing with Lightfall. Like, it's really crazy how some of these gaming companies are nickel and diming. And remember, EA faced a whole lot of backlash when Star Wars Battleground came out, and they had microtransactions happening out the ass, right? Like, there were certain characters you could only unlock if you bought them. And there was a whole lot of shit going on where you could only do certain things if you bought it. So they faced a whole lot of backlash, as they should, because they was on that bullshit. However, I do find it interesting that the same energy isn't given to Bungie. Now, again, you can play the game in full, right? You don't need to buy, you don't need to buy to be able to unlock certain areas or to be able to do certain missions, with the exception of the season pass and the dungeon key. But other than that, you can play the game, get the new powers and whatever, and not have to buy anything extra. But there's a whole lot of other shit that you miss out on when you don't have access to, the seasons, or you can't do the dungeons because you have to fucking pay for the key. Like, it's ridiculous. And I'm actually surprised that it's taken this long for people to get this mad, where now it's becoming a subject again, because it was a subject, like 3-4 years ago, I think, when people were like, what is up with all this? And then Bungie changed how they did stuff. Now, Bungie's changed how you get access to certain shit, but they didn't tell anybody this time. They just changed it in the game. And since, those of us who are legacy Destiny players, I mean, we're going to play some Destiny. I'm going to play Destiny. You know what I'm saying? When I'm done with Lightfall, so when the next one comes out, which we get to see Kate and all that, I'm going to get that expansion too. The expansions, I've already accepted that the expansions are a part of my life when it comes to Destiny. So I kind of don't complain about the expansions anymore. But if there's a season pass, if there's a dungeon, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a season pass. If there's a different season that's involved, if there's a dungeon that's involved, that shit needs to be included. These expansion passes are like $30, $40, $50. Especially if you get it when it first comes out. If you don't wait for a sale, they're like $30, $40, $50. $10 more, that's the next Destiny game. And then when you add that shit up, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you add that shit up, it adds up. I truly believe that's why they don't really do, you know what I'm saying, expansion passes. I really believe that's why Bungie doesn't really do expansion passes until all the expansions kind of come out. Then they want to throw some shit at you for like $30. You know what I'm saying? Because I think right now the expansion pass that's got Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, I don't know. Oh, Forsaken. I don't know if it has a Witch Queen in it or not, but I know with those three in particular and the 30th anniversary collection pack, okay, whatever the fuck. But I believe that you can get that expansion pass pack for like $30, I think, right now. But it's old shit. You know what I'm saying? So for somebody like me that's been playing, I don't want that. I already got them. I already paid for them. And I don't be wanting to wait. When an expansion comes out, I want to play it because I want to play that story. So that's on me, right? But I think that's why they don't even offer expansion passes anymore, because they get all that money up front. And then when it's been a couple of years, then they want to bundle it all together and give it to you. But I already got it. So for new people coming into Destiny that, that aren't legacy Destiny players, those packs, those expansion pass packs are perfect for them because they can get all the previous expansions and don't really have to save a lot of money. But for those of us who play a lot, I'm going to need Bungie to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm a Destiny player. I'm already committed. You know what I'm saying? I've already been playing for years. I've already got calluses on my hands from intensely playing on my, like it's already happened. I'm already in. But that doesn't mean that this should continue to go on. Games are not expensive. I mean, games are not cheap. Sorry. Games are not cheap. They're getting bigger. They're getting more advanced. They're getting, the art and the voice acting that goes into a lot of these games and the direction and the engineering and the technology. Like games are just expensive because we as gamers, we want the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? We want to be immersed. We want to have fun. We want to be involved. We want to fuck some shit up. Like those are all things that we want as gamers. So games are, and then with technology and the introduction of AI and all that stuff, games are just going to be expensive. So I'm not going to complain about the cost of a game. It is what it is. And it ain't going nowhere no time soon. Okay. But what I am and will continuously complain about is the amount of microtransactions in some of these games. Bungie, get it the fuck together. Okay. Because it's just ridiculous. We are loyal fans. Okay. We play your game like thousands of players play Destiny every single day. It's not going to stop. So I'm not going to sit up here and do an empty threat of I'm going to stop playing Destiny. I'm lying. Okay. No, I know I'm for a fucking lie. Okay. That's a fucking lie. I'm not going to do that. And while I might get the expansions because the expansions are important to the story, but paying for dungeon keys, going to test Eververse, fuck her, you know what I'm saying, and whatever, paying for season passes, like, come on, man. Just do what you did before. Keep it all in the expansion. If you don't want to sell expansion passes anymore, hey, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? I get the expansion every time. But to have to pay extra for dungeons that are associated with that expansion or have to pay extras for season passes that have part of a story that's associated with that expansion, that's trash shit. Not being able to get better exotic weapons or exotic armor and stuff like that. I have to buy that shit. That's whack. You can keep the dances and the ornaments as part of Test Eververse. I don't care. You can even keep, some of the racers. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I like what I have. I'm cool with what I got. But a lot of this other shit, for the amount of money that us legacy Destiny players have to pay, I do not understand. So the article I read said that the next expansion, Bungie's going to try to fix some of this because they do realize that fans are getting real mad from the bullshit that they be pulling. So in all honesty, folks, we just going to have to wait and see what they do and then make a decision. Like I said, I'm not going to be a fucking liar and say I'm not playing. And then y'all going to see Medusa maybe saying they playing Destiny 2 and I'm looking for a group or whatever to conquer this Nightfall raid. That would be a lie. But what I can tell you is that I will never pay shit in a game that I feel should be given for free. That's today's topic. I hope you let me know what you guys think. Are microtransactions getting out of control? How do you feel about it? What are your thoughts about it? You like, fuck it, I'm going to pay, you know what I'm saying? And you keep doing, do you find that it's beneficial? Let me know. Let's talk about it. That's today's show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I miss y'all, and I'll be back next week. Peace.